officially live. We are back, RacerX Wednesday. And boy, I have got a lot to share with you guys tonight. Obviously, I was just up in Michigan with the guys at Dodge, Roadkill Nights. We have a lot of stuff to unpack on that journey, what I want to share with you guys. And man, I've got a whole page of notes here. So we're going to start out the live stream tonight. And first of all, thank you guys for being here. Do me a huge favor, hit thumbs up on your way in the door tonight. It lets everybody know that we're live. Hopefully, give me a sound check real quick, guys. I think I've got everything fired up here. It looks like it's working okay. Let me know if you can hear me. Let's see. My man Sovereign Knight is on the job tonight. If you are just now watching this and you're not watching it live, no worries. I will catch you on the next one. But hopefully, this will be a very fun and interactive live tonight. I want to be able to answer a lot of your questions. Sound is not bad. I'm hearing it's good. Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys. But I want to answer a lot of your questions tonight. I'll get to as many comments as I can as usual. It is pretty cool now that I have my memberships thing going because I can see, obviously, when the members pop up, they pop up a little bigger and it's brighter, which is kind of cool. Obviously, you know, those folks are doing what they can to help support the channel as well. And all you guys, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. And man, this trip up to Dodge, guys, it was a lot of fun. It wore me out. Last year's Roadkill Nights wore me out as well. It's a long day. I was only there for 2 days this time, 2 full days, and even just 2 days, guys, it wore me out. But I had a lot of really cool stuff to do while I was up there. 137 people on already, guys. We just started. And don't forget, hit thumbs up on your way in the door. I got, I see a couple of moderators on. I see my man Aaron. I see my man Sovereign Knight, and there may be a couple others on already as well. So let me see. Let me say hi to a couple of folks real quick. Like I always do, I kind of like to acknowledge everybody as they're coming into the live. And then I will get started with some of the things that I learned from Dodge that, one, I didn't necessarily know. And two, a lot of you guys maybe didn't know as well. So tonight is all about me sharing my findings with you guys. I talked with a lot of the senior leadership of Dodge, you can imagine. A lot of folks that I didn't think I was going to have access to in terms of like people at the build plant. Certainly my connections with Direct Connection. That's another thing that we'll talk about here in a minute. So really interesting live tonight, guys. So let me say hi to a few people. I do see my man Patrick in the house. Let's see here. I'm going to go back to the top real quick so I don't miss anybody. My man James Photos, of course, is here. I love to see you, buddy. And then, of course, my man Harold is here. Let's see. Jonathan is in the house tonight. Hurricane 6 and Charger Challenger Chrysler 300. Yeah, we'll get to that here in just a second here. Chris is in the house. Is ready for all the Mopar News X fan. Heck yeah, Jonathan. Let's see. I think we got John. I'm just trying to find whoever else is here. Let's see. Who else we got? There's Harold. Joe K, welcome back to the channel. RacerX here. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Michael Smith, I can neither confirm nor deny. That is the question as to what he has learned. Yes, well, I can confirm a few things, and a couple of things seem relatively clear after going up there. And we'll talk about that. I got a whole page of notes here to share with you guys. So it should be a lot of fun. Who else do we have here? John Herman saying, what's up, everybody? New World Report. Ladies and gentlemen, RacerX. I like it. Jeff Noob saying, let's get it. Darth Bane is here. Good evening, all. I hope everyone is staying cool. I hope so, too. Let's see. Who else are we missing? My man Jay Beeman is in the house. Let's see here. Sovereign Knight putting up my Instagram. Thank you, buddy. Let's see here. New World saying sounds not bad. Curtis asking how I'm doing. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Appreciate it, Curtis. Who else have I not heard from here? Joe K with the thumbs up. Isaac saying, what's up, sir? Good to see you, buddy. My man Drag Van. Obviously, Drag Van. My man Drag Races an ice cream truck. How cool is that? So let's see here. Looks like Jorge's in the house. Let's see who else we got in here. Aaron, let's see. Is this live? Yes, it is live. We are completely live tonight. Only 62 thumbs up, though, guys. Hit thumbs up for me on your way in, please. I would really appreciate it. Let's see here. What is this one? Ogres Quezar. I don't know. I'm trying. What's the latest on the Elephant Demon at Forza? Okay, so I actually messaged Brent not too long ago asking him how it was coming, and they were waiting on parts for that car still. Believe me, when that Demon is done, I would love to absolutely get a video for you guys on the $1 million demon. So that's still in the works. It might be a little while yet. So that thing had like beryllium pistons in it and all sorts of crazy stuff. Let's see here. What else? Jeff Noob, we got in the house. Let's see, Jonathan. So when will let's see here. When will they out the Hurricane 6 in the LX platform? So we'll talk a little bit about the Hurricane, my man Jay Beeman. Let's see. I hope you have good news about the Demon 170. I can't wait to see that. Yes. Well, thank you for the super chat, Jay. I appreciate that, buddy. And yeah, we've got a little bit of stuff on the 170. Like I said, we'll unpack all that here in just a second. If you guys watched my my coverage from the last, like my last two videos, one was a behind the scenes of Roadkill Nights, which is pretty darn cool. And then the other was filmed during the actual day of Roadkill Nights, where we did all the drag racing and stuff like that. And the two videos actually go hand in hand. They're longer videos, I think 27 minutes a piece on those, but I had to show you guys everything, get all the racing, get the builders to talk about their builds. Like, so it is neat to see that kind of behind the scenes and see what those guys go through when they build these cars. And yeah, I mean, it's neat to be there as well. So really enjoyed. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Let's see, who else do we got? Quirts QW. I think that's what it says. Let's see, any news on the next gen Challenger? So yeah, guys, we'll talk about that here in a minute as well. So we will get into some of this. Great questions. Let's see here. Jeremy with the thumbs up. My man James Photo. Hey, bud, glad you're back. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. We got 208 people on already. Hit thumbs up for me, guys, on the way in the door. Let's see here. Lymanstein says, good evening, everybody, and RacerX. Good to see you in the house tonight. Christopher G, how satisfied with your Ford order are you? Well, so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, about my Dark Horse order. You guys knew I had an order for a Dark Horse. And then, of course, I dropped a bomb on everybody and told you guys that I also, way back when, even before I ordered the Dark Horse, I put an order in for the Demon 170. And, so I've got some big decisions to make on that car, because I fully 100% intend to get the Demon, which is not cheap. So do I want to add another 70,000 plus taxes and title and all the other stuff to boot? And that is a lot. And I still have my current Mustang. I'm trying to sell that car right now. So it's going to be tough. I'm also told that Dark Horse Mustang, it may be coming in as soon as like 3 weeks. So that really puts me in a bind, because I don't want to purchase the Dark Horse and then that prevents me from purchasing the Demon, if that makes any sense. Because guys, we're talking about 200 grand in cars. And for some of you guys, I realize maybe that's not a big deal. For me, I'm not independently wealthy. I do what I can, and I'm doing everything I can with my channel. Of course, I have my day job as well, but I mean, that's a lot of overhead, guys. And I just, that's a decision that's going to be, it's going to be tough to make. So Aaron, thank you for the super chat. I love the little fox with the paintbrush there. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Let's see here. What else do we got here, guys? I want to, Sony One Scat Pack says, evening all. John says, hello, RacerX. Randy Newman, thumbs up. Carrie Glock. Carrie's always commenting about K9X and all the all the comment section. I love it. Let's see here. Joseph, so far so good with the audio. Great to hear. Cheryl Ross in the house. Love that. Let's see. I can hear great. Let's see. Philip Hudson. Loud and clear. My man Aaron, of course, we mentioned him, longtime supporter of the channel, saying what's up to Sovereign Knight. Let's see here. What's Jonathan say? We saw that Hurricane 6 in the Challenger. So they did have a drag pack with a Hurricane in it at the Roadkill Nights event. That was pretty darn cool. My man Patrick is in the house. Carlos, Paul, I understand that the Banshee will be out sooner than later. Is that true? So when it comes to the Banshee, I didn't get a whole lot out of the guys on the Banshee. I don't have any indication whatsoever that the Banshee will be out sooner than later. There wasn't a lot being said about the Banshee. I'll just be honest with you right now. The Banshee was there. I got some footage for you guys on the Banshee, but literally not an inkling was spoken about when the Banshee is going to come out, the horsepower, the price, none of it. I just was not able to get anything on that. I think it is still being worked on, if I'm honest. So that kind of covers the Banshee piece of it. Let me grab a couple more comments, and I do want to kind of jump in. My man Aaron says, let's see here. Charge more on my OnlyFans. I think I would lose a lot of subscribers, Aaron, if I went that route. Aaron's always teasing me about that. Don't really have an OnlyFans, guys. Don't let Aaron fool you. That would be brutal. So anyway, let's keep moving on. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Let's see, Justin. Any news on direct connection stage kits? I knew you guys were going to ask me about that, and I'm going to tell you. I'll just go ahead and tell you. I have a video that I'm currently working on. I plan to put it out tomorrow about that. That was the one piece of news that I didn't want to share with you guys because I'm doing an independent video all about the updates that I have from Direct Connection. We're talking about stage kits. He's asking about the stage kits for the 6.4, possibly the 5.7. I will give you what I know now. Are there other stages coming? Which ones are coming? I have all that information for you guys, but I don't want to spoil tomorrow's video. So please hang in there with me on that. I realize a lot of you guys want to know. It's that instant gratification. My man Gary Fuller says Demon 170. I love it, buddy. Thank you so much. And I appreciate that, Gary. So anyway, guys, just stick with me on the direct connection piece. You guys saw me, those of you guys that have saw my last video, I interviewed Chuck from Direct Connection. Awesome guy. We have a great relationship. And he was able to give me a little bit of information as well. But the truth is that I've got a whole bunch of stuff to tell you from Direct Connection, and I don't want to just spill it all here, and I just don't want to spoil my video that I'm already working on. So expect that tomorrow, hopefully by 4:00 Eastern time, and so that will answer that question. So I hate to string you guys along. It's just it doesn't do me any good to tell you now if I'm doing a video that'll be out tomorrow. So great question. Let's see. I got to grab a few more comments, and I want to jump into something. Aaron's saying both great vehicles, but I would go with the Demon 170. What does Tom say? Wish I could have met you when you're in Michigan. Yeah, I wish I could have met more of you guys. I did meet a lot of you guys at Roadkill Nights. Got a lot of pictures with people, talked to people. I rode thrill rides with people because they were like, I was up there in the front doing my thing and just talking to everybody, having a good time. And there were several people that wanted me to just jump in with them. And of course, I have a good relationship with all the drivers and stuff at Radford. They were doing all the rides and stuff. So I would just kind of jump in the back with a bunch of people. And we had a really good time. Thank you, Aaron, for the super chat as well. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for your generosity. Really do appreciate it. Let's see here. Who else have I missed, guys? If I missed you, I'm so sorry. I'll try and come back later. Brian saying, hey, RacerX. Becky Ware is in the house tonight as well. Good to see you. Let's see here. Who else have I missed? My man Jay Beeman says, believe me, I know I have a Hellcat and a Tesla and a Dodge Ram truck. It gets expensive with all the It absolutely does, guys. And especially in Florida, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I'm not exactly a kid, and I have a perfect driving record. I have no tickets, no accidents on my record, and it's just one of those things. I think I'm paying with my deductible's relatively high. And I think I'm still over $700 a month. My insurance in Florida is triple what it was in Dallas, guys, in Texas. And the only reason that I was given, and it's not that I haven't looked elsewhere, like all the different companies, they all tell me the same thing. My particular county in Florida, we have the worst drivers literally on the planet here. I've never seen anything like they are in Florida. I mean, New York City cab drivers would be like, dude, they're crazy. And it shows it in the insurance rates here, guys. So yeah, you can expect the insurance on that Demon to be, I shudder to think about it, to be honest. I do have the VIN number. I suppose I could call around and just get some preliminary quotes on it, but man, I shudder to think, but you know what? We got to do it. So I'm also probably going to take out track insurance on that car if I'm smart, because who knows what can happen. I've seen it where a lot of people, it could not even be my fault. Like I could just be rolling and then somebody comes straight across right into the side of my car. My car's totaled. Seen it happen many, many times. So I've got to be smart about what I do with this car as well. So anyway, kind of get off on a little bit of a tangent, but definitely interesting stuff. Guys, do me a big favor. Almost 300 people on, but only 120 likes. Go ahead and hit thumbs up for me really quick. Like I said, it just lets everybody know that we are live and doing our thing here. So I really do appreciate you guys. Let me see. Who else have I missed here? Demon 170 and Mustang Dark Horse. Yes, I would love to get both, guys. I just don't know if it's in the cards, especially since I haven't sold my current twin turbo Mustang. So I need to get that car off the books right away, and then maybe we got a better shot at it. Let's see here. Congrats on the Demon, says Brian. 170 Torrid Red. You got correct. So you guys know what my color is. I did tell you guys on the spec. Initially, I released it to the members, and then of course I released it to everybody. I wanted everybody to know that obviously I did get Go Mango. I know a lot of you were not expecting that. I wasn't expecting that, but oh my gracious, man, what a cool looking car this thing is going to be. And I don't think a lot of people are selecting Go Mango based on all the statistics that I've seen. I don't think it's a big thing. So I'm going to grab a few more comments, and then I want to jump into some of the other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Let's see. Let's all hit that like button, everybody. Says my man James Photos. Thank you, buddy, for the super chat. I do appreciate that. And yeah, guys, please hit thumbs up on your way in. Let me see. Who else have I missed so far? Let's see. Kevin Bostic with the thumbs up. Christopher saying, let's see. Old people are Yankees. It's the same. Let's see. What's Doug say? Paul, great to meet you after the Roadkill Racing. Rob from Brampton, Canada, get a hold of you yet. No, actually, I emailed one of the Dodge folks. This is actually one of the things I was going to cover tonight, so I'll cover that here in a minute. But it's actually interesting that you mentioned that. I have not been reached out to yet, but we'll see. Well, a lot of you guys will understand what I'm going to talk about here in just a second. There's Aaron again with the super chat. Thank you very much, Aaron. I really appreciate that. You guys have been very generous so far tonight. Thank you very much. And we're only just a few minutes into the live stream tonight. Who else have I not heard from, guys? Let me just grab just a couple more. Let's see here. Kurt Remington with a thumbs up. Let's see. Tom says, go Mango. Yes, sir. Let's see. Stuff-O-Matic. Miss my Dodge Daytona from the 80s. Yes. That was they had some cool stuff back in the day for sure. Let's see. Joe saying, what color do you think is the rarest cinnamon stick? You know, that I don't know. And I probably won't until they produce all the cars. Certainly the rarest are going to be the ones that they offered. So just so you guys are aware, they made 40 like special colors, and they're all one-offs. Jay Leno's is one of them. Jay Leno picked up his car on Thursday, right before the Roadkill Nights event. The day before I got up there, he picked his car up. It is a very special color. Joseph C, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that with the number one. I love it. 5 for the live says Sovereign Knight as well. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. Of course, Sovereign Knight, one of my super mods. Thank you very much, buddy. But there are 40 really rare colors that they're only making one of, but it's a $30,000 option. I might have mentioned this to you guys before. That's not me. I'm not doing $30,000 on my paint job, especially when a color like is out there like Go Mango. My color cost me, I think, $400. That was it. So yeah, it's CFL James 1320. I love it. RacerX Demon 170 insurance funds. We're going to need a bunch of those, aren't we? It's going to be out of control. But like I said, man, I want to do this for you guys. I've been wanting to do this, something special for you guys. Thank you again, my man CFL James, of course, for the super chat. Thank you very much, buddy. But yeah, it is not going to be cheap for me to do this for you guys. And so you probably have noticed, obviously, I started my membership thing. You know, and you know, the super chat, all of it helps. It really does, because right now I'm poised, and I've been trying for months to try and get all of the pieces in place to make all this happen for you guys. And I really do have my mindset on this. And those of you that know my history, you realize, I mean, between the TRX and the Demon and all the other vehicles that I've been wanting to get for the channel that just didn't work out for whatever reason, this has to work. This has to go. And I've got the backing of Dodge. I've got the backing of my dealership. I feel like I'm in pretty good position right now. I've been working on my credit, doing all the things in the background to make this a go. And I'm one of the few people out there that I feel like will actually race a Demon 170. I want to get the car because I want to see what it will do. I did see another super chat come in really quick. Let me grab it. My man Juan, thanks Juan. I appreciate it, buddy. He says, looking forward to you hitting under 9s in the Demon 170. Can't wait. Juan, thank you very much. I really appreciate the super chat. And that's actually a perfect segue to what I was going to say. Much love, RacerX says Sub-Zero TV. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate the super chat. You guys, man, you guys are fantastic tonight. Wow. Anyway, I want to get this car, and my goal is to go out there and beat just about every other production car that I can. And I actually put out a poll on my channel earlier today. Many of you guys may have seen it. I think it's already got like 2,000 votes. I just put it out at, I don't know, like 4 or 5 o'clock today. Asking you guys, who will win in a drag race between a Plaid and a Demon 170? Truth be told, the Plaid, if you think about it, I mean, the Plaid is a frustrating car to think about, guys. It just is, because it is an absolute freaking missile. Like it or not, it is a missile. It doesn't miss. It doesn't miss gears. It doesn't spin. It's impervious to DA, and it goes out and it runs 9.2 all day long at 151 miles an hour, which is the same exact trap speed the Demon runs. So if you let the Plaid get out on you at all, you're toast. So it's just one of those things. Like I said, the car won't spin. It doesn't miss, and there's something frustrating to that, because us old school drag racers, we know. I mean, there's a lot of elements when it comes to drag racing. So a lot of this is going to be driver. A lot of it's going to be DA, track prep. There has to be some things working in the Demon's favor. I believe the car can do it. I plan on doing everything I can to make that a reality at some point, with some seat time and all that kind of stuff. I really do. That's my goal. I want to get out. I'd love to be able to somehow maybe break the record. I am at sea level in Florida. It's going to have to be in really good DA, and I'm going to have some seat time, and I have to get some things right. But can the car do it? I think it can, and I want to prove that it can. And most people are going to buy this car, and it's going to sit in the garage, and it's going to be a paperweight. That is not my intention for this car. That doesn't mean I'm going to drive it everywhere. I'm not going to daily the car. I haven't told you guys this, but I actually already bought a little Kia, little Forte as a daily driver, which I really like that little car. You wouldn't think so, but I do. Perfect little daily, good gas mileage, pump gas, everything I need it to do. So all the pieces, as you see, I'm moving all the pieces on the chessboard, trying to get everything ready. And I can't wait, guys. I am so excited. So I missed some super chats. Let me jump back into them really quick. My man Aaron is saying bravo. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Garrett Myers jumping in there as well. Just picked up my Scat Pack wide body. So blessed. Fantastic. Congratulations on that. I love to hear it. And I hope you really enjoy that car. Make sure you put the break-in mileage on it, and then go out, put it in track mode, and enjoy it. Man, that's exciting stuff. Let me see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. I think we got Sub-Zero TV. I think we're all caught up. My man Jay Beeman, how do I get the membership? I want to help the channel. Thank you very much, buddy. I really appreciate that. Right below all my videos, you'll see something that says channel memberships, and just hit join. And there's two options. It's either $5 or $10 a month. It's not very much. I do actually have a video for members I'm going to put out really soon. It's nothing crazy, guys. And if you're not a member, it's okay. Not a big deal, I promise. But I had some old footage in my phone of some old drag races I had back when I had the Hellcat and the Scat Pack, and I was just going to put that little compilation together and stick it on there just before I deleted it from my phone. I was like, maybe they would like to see this. So anyway, I had that coming out. But it's like I said, a lot of guys got upset. They're like, membership, da, 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 da. That's okay. If you guys don't want to be, it's not a big deal, I promise. But for those of you guys that are members, thank you as well. I really do appreciate everybody. Member or not, you guys all mean the world to me. So thank you very, very much for everything you guys do. You guys know who you are. You guys that send me video ideas, and you guys that send me really positive comments, and like I could not do this thing without you guys. So it really is what makes this all worth it to me. What else just came across? Let's see. So I got my man Jay Beeman. Thank you for the super chat as well, buddy. And then Six Speed B. I like this. It says, I love the videos. Did you hear anything about Scat Pack stage kits from Direct Connection? Interesting that you just mentioned that. I will release a video tomorrow about what I heard from Direct Connection on all of the stage kits. We will, like I said, we will get addressed. And thank you again, moderators, for what you guys do. I really appreciate you guys keeping my chat nice and clean. But yeah, I will let you guys know right away. If like I said, tomorrow, check it out. 4 o'clock is when I plan on releasing the video. And I will tell you guys all about the things that I learned from Direct Connection, not just on the stage kits, but we have other things to talk about as well. Got a list of things, and I will share it all with you guys. So stay tuned for that. So real quick, guys, you guys have been very generous tonight. Let's see here. Let me jump down, make sure I haven't missed anybody real quick. I think we're okay. I think we're caught up. And wow. All right. So guys, here's the first thing. Let me jump in. Like I said, we have all my recent content. I haven't been with you guys in about 3 weeks on a live. And let's see, I have some new videos that I'm going to bring you guys here very soon, including the Direct Connection stuff tomorrow. First thing. I did find out, as you can imagine, I spoke with many of the leaders at Dodge. Actually took some pictures, posted them to Instagram and stuff like that, so you guys could see that. It's not the first time I've talked to these guys. It certainly won't be the last. It was neat to meet them in person because I don't get to do that very often, and just talk to them. But first of all, one of the big takeaways I had was, how did the Demon 170 really come about, and what spurred that? And really, one of the big things is it was benchmarked after the Plaid, as I thought it was. Look at the numbers, guys. The Plaid makes 1,020. What does this car make? 1,025. We all know the Plaid runs 9.2 basically all day long. It had to be beat. And initially, when the Demon was being developed, um, it didn't beat the Plaid. It just, it wasn't making enough power. Yes, the bottom ends on the cars were blowing up. I talked to one of the lead engineers over the entire Hemi program, the person in charge of making those engines. Super nice guy, very, very cool guy, very knowledgeable. And we had a long conversation. It was pouring rain at Roadkill Nights, and we just sat there and we talked for the longest time. And it was so neat to learn from him about like what reality is and what it isn't. But the truth is that the senior leaders at Dodge were not going to be satisfied until they got numbers, whether it be ET, whether it be horsepower, whatever, that beat the Tesla Plaid. And that is the massive benchmark that is out there, especially when you think about how capable electrics are. Yes, an electric car is just a really hard car to beat. Like I said, the leadership there, they even mentioned a video that has come out recently about a Kia EV6 GT that I showed you guys. I did a review on that thing, and it makes like 576 horsepower, and it trolled a black ghost, which most of you guys will make you kind of a little upset or unhappy, whatever it may be. Thank you again, Aaron. I really appreciate that. I love the little fox there. That's super cool. Thank you for the super chat. 576, it should not beat a black ghost making 807 horsepower. But as I always tell you guys, electric horsepower is just different. The way it comes on, the torque curve on it, all the power under the curve. Those of you guys understand drag racing, power under the curve is really where it's all at. And especially when it's all-wheel drive, there's no spinning, there's none of the fan, it just goes. And whether you like it or not, it's from a performance perspective, it's so hard to beat. And then you talk about something like a Plaid that makes almost double that amount of horsepower. It is a massive undertaking to beat a Plaid. And I mean, I don't care what anybody says, it is a massive undertaking. That's why no internal combustion car out there can beat a Tesla. I mean, what can, right? Think about a Bugatti Chiron that makes 1,500 horsepower. Can't beat a Plaid. McLaren 765 LT, nope, can't beat a Plaid. SF90 Ferrari, nope, sorry, play again. It's insane how stupid fast a Tesla Plaid is. So, and I think we're only scratching the surface as of what these cars will do. I mean, some of you guys have seen this Rimac Navara. That car makes like 1,940, almost 2,000 horsepower. And it is, you want to talk about a missile. Then again, I think those cars are like $2 or $3 million. So even thinking about a car like that, I don't necessarily even consider that car to be a production car, but because it kind of isn't. I mean, when you make like 15 of them, is that really a production car? I don't know how many they've made, but it's like that low a number. So anyway, there is that, but just something to ponder. And like I said, this is coming from the leadership at Dodge. Like, dude, like look at what somebody could do with a 576 horsepower Kia. It's a weird world we live in. So the Demon is going to have its hands full. Any driver trying to compete with something like a Tesla Plaid, but we're going to find out. And I can't wait to find out, guys. That's the truth of it. I want to see myself. So I did see another one come in. My man Aaron, what does he say? Is the 170 supposed to be able to beat the Plaid stock from the factory? That's the idea, right? If you really, I mean, Tim made no bones about it. Look, the car runs 891 at 151 miles an hour, which is faster than a Tesla Plaid. Now, here's the thing. The Demon, it's an internal combustion offering, right? I mean, we all know it's a 3-liter supercharged 6.2, puts out a ton of boost, 2,500 pounds of cylinder pressure. I mean, it is the epitome of a monster. But that's what it takes to even compete with something like a Plaid. And then, of course, it's not impervious to things like DA, certainly wheel spin. There are a number of factors that go into driving a Demon. And it takes a driver to really get a Demon to run a number like that. Jim Wilder did it. Obviously, he was the one who set that time, and he did it on multiple occasions. But that doesn't mean it's easy to do. And keep in mind, the Plaid, my grandmother could get in the Plaid, and as long as she had the stomach to do it, she could go run a 9.2. That's what that car does. And that's part of what it makes it so dang frustrating, is the fact that it can do that, and it can do it all day long with just about any driver. The Demon, you're going to have to drive it. You're going to have to you're going to have to go in. You're going to have to reprogram it a little bit and go and adjust the 60 foot and do all the things that Trans Brake 2.0 will do. And you're going to have to get those tires nice and hot. A Plaid, you don't have to do any of that. It's all wheel drive. Just go. So it's just two very different cars, two very different worlds. And at the end of the day, we're gonna find out. That'll be the neat thing. So I'm not going to attempt it till I have enough seat time, enough time, I want some good DA. I want to do the car justice. That's that's what I want to do. And I think that would be fun. And I want to put a very competent driver in the Plaid too. First comes to mind, obviously, is Brooks from Drag Times. He lives in Miami. Maybe I can sync up with him. The guys from Texas Racing Channel, I'm sure at some point maybe I can get those guys to maybe come down here, saw them at Roadkill Nights. So that was really cool as well. But anyway, it was neat to learn about how Dodge benchmarked the Plaid in essentially everything they did with the Demon. So they wanted to make this the baddest muscle car ever made from a production standpoint, and it absolutely is. Will it beat the Plaid? We'll find out in real world. I think with a good driver and good conditions, I think it will. I really do. Will not be easy though. Let's get it straight. So it'll be neat. It'll be really neat to see that when it finally happens, whether it's me or somebody else. I can't wait to see it. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Who do you think gives the Plaid the best run? You know what I mean? I mean, my buddy Demonology, he's getting one of these. I know a couple other influencers out there that are getting a Plaid. I'm sorry, not Plaid. That are getting a Demon 170, not a Plaid. So there's a few of us out there that really want to do this right. So can't wait to see it. Let me see here. Beer Hound says sick. Let's see. Kyle, you should race the Eroy Tesla cars. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff out there that I want to race, guys. It should be neat. Lucid. So yeah, Lucid's another one. That race needs to happen. That's going to be a hard car to beat. I think it beats the Plaid. So there's going to be a lot that that we're going to have to do to get that Demon to be king of the hill. But I think it can do it. I really do. After talking with the guys at Dodge, it was really interesting. Like I said, I talked to the engineer that really designed and put this engine together, and he admitted, he said, yeah, you know what, you're blowing up the bottom ends on these cars. It has a lot of race cars type stuff. I mean, billet main caps, and I mean, there's all sorts of things they put on that engine to hold it together to make that sort of a horsepower. I asked him, did he recommend it? What if I did a pulley or something like that to add even more horsepower? So, maybe not a great idea. Where it sits right now is kind of on the proverbial edge, so to speak, of what it's capable of. And I think pushing it any further than that could cause some problems. Think about it, guys. Think about how silly this is. I was talking to my buddies at MagnaFlow just the other day about how silly it is to think about a production car, a car that comes off the assembly line that runs 8.9 from the factory. This is literally the first production car ever that will run an 8-second quarter mile. How incredibly impressive is that? Where are we with today's technology where we have cars that will do that? And for those of you that have never experienced what an 8-second pass feels like, it's stupid fast. I mean, and to think about it being a production car is just absurd, to be honest. So what does Aaron say? He says, let's see, rode in a Lucid. What did he say? Super luxurious and scary fast. They absolutely are, guys. They are no joke. Eric, thank you, buddy, for the super chat. And Eric says, so glad you're getting the 170 and go Mango. Me too, buddy. I really appreciate it. Man, I can't wait to get the car, guys. So that brings me to my next Demon 170 point. And this is something I was going to talk to you guys about. And I put out some feelers about this today. Now, I by no means promising this, but somebody alluded to it just a little bit ago. So I'll go ahead and talk about it. I'm trying to get something set up with the factory in Brampton, in Canada, for me to go up there and film the Demon from start to finish. And here's the thing. I told you guys it was like a 6-week build time. Truth is, I found out from the people that run the line at the factory. They were literally there. I talked to them, the guy that actually runs the whole show there. And it takes them one day to go to take a Demon from a shell to a completely finished car driving off the lot one day. How incredibly impressive is that? They make 775 cars a day. 775 cars a day, and 75 seconds is how long it takes them. I'm sorry, not 75, 47 seconds. I don't know where I got 75. 47 seconds is how long the car sits at each station. Can you imagine? I Guys, I've got to figure out a way to film that. And I proposed, what if I went up there, since it only takes one day? What if I went up there and filmed my car being going from a white just shell to a completely finished monster in one day? How neat would it be for me to film that whole thing for you? Now, I don't know. Like I said, I by no means. I have talked to the factory folks. They thought maybe it would be a good idea. They thought maybe we could do it. I sent out some feelers today to see if they would be amenable to doing this. I'm not making any promises, but I can promise you this: if they do say, "Well, look, RacerX, we would love to have you up. We'd love to show you, do all this with you." Guess what? It's going to happen. So that's my goal. I would love to go up there and show you guys the build process, especially if it was my car. How cool would that be? I would be ecstatic to go up there and look and watch how they do this. Now, like I said, there are all sorts of things. They may tell me no reasons, right? They could say, look, it's a safety issue, or they could say, look, we have proprietary technology in there. So we don't want the competition to see kind of how we do it. I mean, there are a number of things that could cause them to say no. But like I said, when I talked to the head factory guy, he was like, "Wow, I think it'd be great. We can schedule your car exactly the day you come up. We'll build it." And man, I cannot tell you how cool that would be. So, guys, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I see a lot of comments coming across. Man, there's a lot of comments coming across right now. Racer X Edition says Sovereign Night. I would love that. I will also tell you this: I have a very special thing coming for the car from several of my sponsors, possibly Direct Connection, possibly Magnaflow, possibly Recaro, across the board. So you can imagine some of the cool plans I have for this car. So we'll just wait and see what happens, guys. I'm so ecstatic about the Demon 170, just the car itself. The maybe some of the other content that I could get with it. There's one major thing that I am really concerned about right now. So this is a perfect segue for me to talk about that. So stick with me here, guys. I'm watching your comments come across. The dog really wants to say hi right now. I don't know what his problem is. But I'm a little concerned with watching everything that's going on right now. I don't know what this could lead down a whole other like path here, guys. I don't want to take this down the wrong path, but I'm watching all of the shenanigans that are going on right now with these street takeovers. I've spoken out about it so many times. I see people shooting each other at these things. I see people running over other people at these events. It is absolute just morocracy at its best. And I don't understand. I just do not understand. Guys, please help me understand what in the world these people are doing, because they are giving us all such a bad look. And truth be told, I'm seeing so many of these cars over the past many years get stolen. And if you think about how often they're stealing things like Scat Packs and they're stealing Hellcats. And I'm watching videos, guys. You're sending me videos of people sitting at stoplights and somebody comes up and puts a gun to their head, right? How bad are they going to want to get a hold of a Demon 170? They are going to come out of the woodwork to try and jack one of those cars. It's not safe putting it in a parking lot somewhere. It may not even be safe driving it down the street from everything I'm seeing and everything I'm hearing. And I am legitimately worried about about the whole security and safety of owning a Demon 170. I feel like it is going to be almost impossible to keep that car safe. Whether you're at the track, if you're at the track and you just leave your car for a little bit, I'd be scared. I would never leave that car in a Walmart parking lot. At every stoplight, I would be looking around, waiting to see if somebody's going to pull a gun on me to take my car so they can take it to the middle of an intersection, rip it around with 8 people hanging out the window, run some people over, shoot each other, and then run it into a telephone pole because that's what's fun, apparently. Um, it's that state of affairs has me very concerned. I don't know what else to say, but I am worried about that. And so obviously, I will take some precautions. But and I won't say any more about that. But it is worrisome. Think about it, guys. Think about if you have a Hellcat and how often those cars get taken. I mean, you see a Demon 170 out in broad daylight off by itself, it probably will not be there for long. That's the truth of the matter right now. I hate to say that, but it's got me very concerned with the current state of things. So um, that's where we're at with that, guys. So anyway, don't want to go off on too big of a tangent. I saw some other super chats come in that I don't want to miss. Let's see. Carrie says, will the 170 put you back in the seat during a 0 to 60 run? Let's see. That your passenger couldn't pull a $100 bill off the dashboard? Absolutely. What did they say? 0 to 60 in 1.6 seconds. Now, of course, that's at a prep track. So, that makes a world of difference. But at a prep track, that's the fastest production car to ever run 0 to 60. Like, by a fair amount. 1.6, 2 lateral Gs. If there was ever a car that would make that a reality of pulling the $100 bill trick, the Demon 170 is definitely it. We're going to find out. Maybe we should try that. Maybe that's a really good video idea because that's old school, right? That's that old school muscle kind of thought process. Is it, you can get that $100 bill off the dash, you could keep it. Very cool question, Kerry. Thank you very much. And yeah, the Demon, absolutely. Now, if it's spinning because it makes so much power, then yeah, I mean, it's not going to be the same thing. But if the car is hooking, yeah, 2 lateral Gs, you can bet it'd be hard to get it. So let's see here. Aaron again. Aaron's up on it tonight? Let's see. RacerX, your patience is superb, and now it finally pays off. Let's see. Finally, you're getting your Demon 170. No tricks attached. Can't wait to see it live. Congrats. Thank you very much, buddy. I am so excited to bring you guys this footage, this content. And I really do. I really hope I can bring you guys some really unique things. It's been a while since you guys have seen me do a lot of drag racing stuff. And that's the thing. I want to get back to it. I would absolutely still love to get the Dark Horse as well, guys. Don't get me wrong, because that's a car that I would love to just modify and make it unique. And it would offer a lot more opportunity for different type of content. But like I said, guys, if you do the math on it, you're basically talking about almost $200,000 in cars. And whether this is my passion or whether I treat YouTube like a business or not, that's a lot of overhead. It just is. That's the reality of it. So I don't think I'd lose money on either car, but it's just a lot of money hanging out there. I mean, how much is that in car payments a month? I mean, what are we looking at? Like $3,000 a month just in car payments? So you guys can see why I'm trying to kind of ramp things up, and because I really want to do some unique things for you guys, and that's been my goal for well over a year and a half. I've been working on things in the background for you guys, trying to get new stuff. And as I mentioned before, I have never actually had a brand new car on my channel that I've been able to. Granted, I had the Mustang, but remember, they've made the S50 since 2015. The Stat Pack I brought to the channel, that car they've been making since really 2018, but before that it was the SRT, right? So that car's been out. They've been doing their thing. The Hellcat 2015. So like I've never had the brand new platform to bring to my channel to help my channel just blow up. I've just been steady Eddie, so to speak. And while the analysts, they say that's a good thing, it'd be nice to be able to bring you guys some content that nobody else has brought to you first. And that's the goal. So that has to be where I'm headed. Like I said, I feel like Dodge is completely on board. I have a fantastic relationship with the executive team there, as you can imagine. So it should be really cool. So anyway, let's move on to the next thing, because I do want to talk to you. There's a lot of stuff I still have to talk to you guys about, and I got stuck on the Demon 170. Thank you guys for all. And I know I'm missing a ton of comments, guys, so my apologies. But I do want to get through this, and I'll see if I can jump back in because I have a lot more to talk to you guys about. I also talked to the head engineer, the Pentastar, the V6. Nobody's talking about that engine anymore, right? Everybody's concerned about the Hemis going away. But my understanding is the Pentastar is going to stay in the lineup for the foreseeable future, at least for the next couple of years. But that's interesting to me, right? Because What is it going to go in? Yeah, obviously we have Jeep out there. I can see that. But from a Dodge perspective, do they even have anything the Pentastar is going to go in? Um, what do they have? Right? It's not going in the Hornet. Um, so we know that's not gonna be a thing. Now, the Durango, that's the next piece I wanted to talk to you guys about. I put out a video about this. I read several articles that the Durango was going away and it's going to be replaced by the Dodge Stealth. Some of you guys wrote me some stuff about this. So I wanted to ask about this while I was up there. And what it looks like right now is that the Durango will actually stay in the Dodge lineup for 2024 and possibly longer, alongside the Stealth. The Stealth will be made on the larger Grand Cherokee platform. Not Grand. I'm sorry. The larger. What is that big old vehicle that I drove? The the Hurricane equipped Grand Wagoneer. My apologies. The Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer. That's a larger frame on that. So my understanding is that they will have two frames. I don't necessarily. I'm trying to remember if it's the Durango that's going to go on the smaller frame and the Stealth is going to be on the bigger frame. Either way, those two vehicles are probably going to be offered um, side by side. They'll have both of them. They'll have the Durango and the new Stealth, which is an SUV. As I mentioned, I don't like the fact that the Stealth is going to be an SUV. I think the Stealth should be a small, darty little thing. For the more entry level type folks, they should have a VR4 version that's more fun, that's faster. And I haven't heard anything about that. Obviously, if they're going to make the Stealth an SUV, all indications are that's exactly what's going to happen. Two large SUVs from Dodge is what will be coming. And at some point, they may actually kill off the Durango. I think they want to see what sales are like if they offer those two offerings kind of side by side. I mean, that's what everybody's buying right now, guys, is SUVs in terms of the mass market. So Dodge is obviously catering towards the mass market, and that's pretty evident. So that doesn't mean they're not going to give us fun stuff, but that's what's going on right now. So Durango stays. Go figure. Like I said, all those articles were written. Apparently, I mean, we're going to have a little bit of a revised Durango, but I do believe that the Durango isn't going anywhere. So Pentastar's not going anywhere. Durango apparently is not going anywhere, at least yet. Now, one of the things that the executives asked me about a lot was the Hurricane. And what I've been able to gather based on all of my conversations is that the Hurricane, as I've mentioned, that's kind of the lineup of the future for these guys. And we already know they've got three tiers. Direct Connections talked about it. You're going to have that the Hurricane 4, which is the Turbo 4, which we know in the Hornet GT, it makes good power, right? 268 horsepower, but it feels like way more, almost 300 pound-feet of torque. But the car feels way faster when you drive it. And then, of course, you have the standard output Hurricane. And then you have the high output Hurricane, which is the one I showed you guys in a review, 510 horsepower. I believe the crate version makes like 550. And that's only the mid tier. I think they have another tier that's coming on the Hurricane, and it's going to be nasty. So how does that set up? I talked to you guys in the past. What I feel like is coming, you're going to have a base level, a GT or an SXT type power plant, Turbo 4, right? You're going to have a Scat Pack type variant, probably in that, my guess, 520 to 530 range. Hurricane 6 twin turbo. And you're going to have a Hellcat type variant where they turn the wick up on the thing. My understanding is that this Hurricane will hold big power. And I've not heard any different through all my conversations with people who make these engines, people who know them inside and out. I feel like we could have a Hellcat variant that makes easily 750 to 800 horsepower. And you might say, well, the current, Hemi 6.2, 2.7 liter blower, it makes 807. So who cares? Well, keep in mind, this engine weighs like half of what that engine does. That's an iron block. Okay, this is an aluminum block. It's completely different technology. Much lighter, much more modern, dual overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder. Like, it's going to rev to the moon. It will be a absolute missile. Just trust me. So from a capabilities perspective, that is, that's there. Now, did they tell me whether or not Dodge is going to have anything new coming down the pipe, like a brand new Challenger? They didn't say, but there was some focus on whether or not, I like the Hurricane. What are my thoughts on it? And I told my feedback was exactly what I just told you guys. Understanding speed, been to 2K, seeing all the fastest cars are like things like GTRs that are what 6 cylinders. Um, I see the capability and the BMW guys, the Porsche guy. I mean, people have been doing this inline six thing very successfully for a long time, and they're unbelievable. Just the tune on those cars is unbelievable versus the current Hemis. It's like chess and checkers. It really is. Now, it's not from a sound perspective. That is where the Hurricane falls short. It's not that the Hurricane sounds bad, but guys, you and I, we all know how good a Hemi sounds. Whether it's supercharged or not, a 6.4 Hemi, good gracious, they sound so good. But headers on those things, put the right exhaust on it, and it is just music to a car lover's ears. And I can spot a Hemi going the other way from a mile away. I can just hear it. And it's just iconic, the sound of that. That's the brand's identity. So they have to pivot it. They have to pivot a little bit. And one of the big things I need to get to you, I think I missed a super chat here as well, but I've just been sitting here just blabbing. I'll get back to it in 1 second. But one of the big things that I took away from this, and it's right here. So I asked the executives, what does the core enthusiast that loves Mopar, that loves Dodge, that's been loving them for decades, right? What do they have coming down the pipe for those guys to get excited about? Because it's not the Hornet, and they know this, guys. Trust me, they know, they understand. The rules have changed, right? This is coming directly from these guys. The rules have changed. They can't do anything about that. But we just have to figure out how to move forward with the tools we're given. And that was the big takeaway, is that, look, we have a plan. We hear you guys. That's what they said. We hear you. We have a plan. It's going to take us a while to execute the plan, so stick with us. But we are very, we're optimistic about the future. So yes, we're giving you guys new lineups that you maybe aren't all that excited about. A new stealth SUV, right? Not excited for the hardcore muscle car or the hardcore enthusiast guy. Get that, right? We're also not all that enthusiastic about the Hornet, whether it's an RT, whether it's a GLH, whatever. It's just not something we're super excited about. Trust me, guys, they know that. They're not, this is no shock to them. They have a plan. It takes a while to get those wheels moving, but they know. So that was nice to hear. It was good to hear that they're listening. They understand, there are some constraints. It takes time, but they do want to give us something exciting, and I believe they will. Will it be a Hemi V8? No, it won't. There have been rumors about a hydrogen V8. When I asked the guys about it that are in the know, they just laughed. They said, maybe the technology's there from a mass production standpoint. So people holding out for a hydrogen Hemi, it's just not in the cards, guys. It's not doable. I've been telling you guys that for the longest. I still see articles on it. According to those guys, it's kind of laughable that they would consider that to be a mass production option. It's just not. So unless something weird happens, no, it's not a thing. Now, it's cool to think about, but that's not reality. So I want to put that out there as well. So I've hit a bunch of things. We talked about the EV6 versus the Black Ghost. Thought that was interesting. If you guys go search on YouTube, EV6 versus Black Ghost, go watch it. Real quick, I want to grab my man, Roy. Roy, thank you for being patient with me, because you put a super chat through that I'm just now getting to, because I went on one of my tangents. It says, what's up, RacerX? Glad to hear you live, buddy. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate the super chat as well. And you guys have been so generous, and I really do appreciate it. Like I said, every little bit helps. When I'm looking at the balance sheet, so to speak, at the end of the month, and I'm trying to get all the ducks to line up to try and make this demon thing happen for you guys. Like I said, any support you guys can give me is very much appreciated. So thank you guys very much for everything that you do. Roy, thanks again, buddy. I appreciate that. Let me grab a couple of comments. There's a couple other, let's see, we talked about the Hurricane. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot this. I'm glad I wrote it down. This was one of the other big things that I had for you guys, that not only was the emphasis on the Hurricane engine, which I know not of you guys, some of you aren't excited about it. I've driven it in a big old SUV, and I can tell you it's fast. in a small, light, nimble thing. I can't imagine how quick that car will be, but it will be formidable. Um, the other emphasis was on all-wheel drive. I'm hearing a lot about all-wheel drive. We already know basically all these EVs coming out that are so capable are all-wheel drive. I believe that not only will we have some hurricane-powered stuff coming through, but we're going to have all-wheel drive hurricane options coming through. And that is pretty cool to think about because that will mean these cars will be unbelievably fast on the street. So not just at the track, but all-wheel drive cars are formidable on the street as well. So I don't know, give that some thought, guys. Digest it a little bit. I'm just kind of giving you guys a lot of these conversations were had. They weren't formal. It was just, hey, we're in the same space, and they, a lot of these guys would talk about my channel or this video that I did or that video and how they appreciate my feedback. And at the same time, it's my opportunity to just talk cars and talk shop with these guys about what their thoughts are and about kind of what they're up to and all that kind of stuff. And it's so neat to listen to these guys and what they do. And one of the coolest things, I will tell you this, and I've told you guys this before. Aaron, thank you again for the super chat, buddy. I really appreciate it. Aaron's getting after it. He's got the little fox there. I love that. Thank you very much. But Dodge's CEO, Tim Kuniskis, I do talk to him. I don't know any other CEOs that are that are true car enthusiasts. Yeah, I mean, you've got Jim Farley at Ford and all that kind of stuff. Like Tim Kuniskis, like he knows and understands cars. Like he watches, he watches the things that happen out there on the market. He watches other brands. This is a guy who just likes the brand, and that's what I love about him is like he likes the brand. Like he's just he's a car nut like we are. And so when you go to talk to him, it's not about, oh, look, it's not about balance sheets. It's not about, it's not about just the raw this or that or these constraints. It's about cars. And I can talk cars all day, as you guys know. That's why you're here, right? Yeah, I think that it's so neat to talk to him because he understands. He understands what the market wants. He understands what his core enthusiasts want. Making a reality is not always the easiest thing to do, but he understands all of the pieces that you guys talk about. I can promise you. And I just think it's so cool that you have a CEO that is just a legitimate car guy like us. And if you don't believe me, if you've ever heard him just talk, you can literally ask him questions. I mean, that are relatively technical in nature. And knows, and I don't know a lot of CEOs that would be in that same position, right? It's like you go and, oh yeah, no, this thing's got these valves, and if you do this to him, he's a car guy, and I think it's so cool, and that makes him more relatable, I think, than a lot of senior executives with a lot of companies. And so, take it for what it's worth. But I enjoy my time at these types of events because of that, right? Because of it's just a legitimate group of guys getting together. It doesn't feel formal at all. It's not. It's we just sit down and talk cars. How cool is that? It's like when you have senior leaders that have a vested interest in watching like races and stuff and wanting their stuff that they make do well and being like, go back to the drawing board until you can make it faster than this. Like there's just an element of coolness to that I think is rare. So I will give you guys that little tidbit. Like I said, I won't talk super specifics, but I'm giving you guys some roundabout stuff that I learned about. Beer Hounds, he says, have an ice cream on me. I absolutely will, buddy. Thank you very much for the super chat. And of course, Sub-Zero TV chiming in again. He said, I agree. I'm tired of these idiotic clowns doing these street takeovers. They make it so hard for us Hellcat owners. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you guys, people are dying at these events. I kid you not. Why are people going to these? How is this entertaining? I guess I just don't get it. Maybe it's a car culture thing. I know a lot of this happens out in California, but it happens all over the place. I know it happens in Detroit. I know it happens in Atlanta. I'm very troubled by a lot of what I see out there on social media. People glorifying cars running from the police. Come to find out, a lot of those cars were stolen too. Um, and they think it's funny. That's the truth. And it's really sad because it hurts us as a car community. It hurts Dodge as a company. It's not a good look for any of us. And why people go to those types of events and participate in that kind of stuff is beyond me. Please don't do that. It's like pissing into the wind. Me telling people that because they're going to do it whether I want them to or not. Or well, some of us out there, we can speak out about it all we want, and people are still going to do it. But I don't get it, and it makes me sad. So anyway, there's that. Thank you for the super chat. I don't want to digress too far down that path, but really good stuff. So real quick, I think I hit a lot of what I wanted to talk about. Now we have not really jumped into the Banshee a whole lot. Now I did throw this out there. Will the Banshee be available in both a internal combustion and a obviously an EV, which we already know, and I could not get very much out of them at all. As I mentioned, I just kind of got a smile back when I asked about it. So they're being very tight-lipped. It's okay, but I think that'll be an interesting thing. I think it will be a logistical challenge to do the same offering with the same body based on the lines and everything I've seen on the car to do an EV, which is put together completely different than a gasoline engine offering is. There's so many differences from the way the axles are done to obviously where the batteries sit really low in the car, how the floor plan is done, the way the air flows through the front of the car, like all of that has to change. I've heard people say, "Oh, well, no, it's easy," and all they do is just do this. No, I mean, like if you really think about all those other cars that that they do that to, like the F-150 and a lot of the even the import stuff, they change basically the whole car. They completely redesign the car. Yes, it may look sort of similar. A lot of those cars are redesigned from the ground up. So maybe Dodge has a plan. Maybe their thing on the whole way was like, look, let's put an offering together that we can do both. Logistically, that's got to be hard to do. But maybe. I hope that'd be cool. We'll see. Let me jump back up here. What did he say? What Aaron again? He says, let's see, put the first gallon of premium unleaded fuel on me. I love it. It says, on your market, set, go, RacerX. I see in your future a lot of broken records, first place. Thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate that. And I certainly hope so, guys. I'm going to do my best. That's all I can do. I think you guys know that, I am a racer and I haven't been doing as much lately. And I've explained to you guys why. Hopefully you guys understand. Racing's one of the more expensive things that I do on the channel. It certainly requires the most editing, and I just haven't really had the right platform to do it. Plus, knowing now that I've had all these plans for so long, the last thing I wanted to do was go out and break my current Mustang, and have that prevent me from getting one of these other brand new platforms for you guys that everybody's so excited about. So, hopefully you guys understand now that this plan has been in the works for a long time. And now we're almost getting to the finish line portion of it. And it's going to be a new beginning. So we'll see. But, for so many of you guys, you wrote me messages and they were like, look, RacerX, I dropped your channel. You quit doing Mopar. So I said, screw it. I'm not watching you anymore or whatever. That bums me out a little bit because I would hope that you guys would just like my content because you like the content. Some of you guys only watch my Mopar stuff. That's okay too. Some of you guys only watch my channel for my Mustang stuff. And that's all right as well. But for so many of you guys, you stuck with me regardless of what I was driving. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate you guys being with me and like, look, I don't care if you're driving a unicycle, juggling bowling pins, I'll still be there for you, and I'm going to support your channel. And man, I can't tell you how much that means to me, guys. So I really do appreciate that. Aaron, again, thank you, buddy. It's got the fox there. I love the little fox. That looks super cool. And look at this. Thank you for the super chat again, buddy. And then of course, Move C2 with the super chat. Stellantis hurting or helping Dodge in your opinion? Wow, that is a really good question, Move C2. I think a little bit of both, and let me explain to you why. So Stellantis gives Dodge a lot of backing. For example, Stellantis is kind of digging Dodge a hole from everything out of a hole, I should say, from all of the From an EPA perspective, Stellantis is a much bigger umbrella, and Stellantis does sell a lot of very fuel efficient vehicles. They really cater to a lot of the European market, obviously being a European umbrella company. And Carlos Tavares, I mean, the good news is I did hear directly from these guys that Carlos Tavares absolutely loves Tim Kuniskis. Obviously, he just took over Ram as well, and Tim has a wonderful relationship with Carlos, who obviously runs all of Stellantis. To me, that's a really good thing. So, maybe Tim will get some more leeway to give us some more really neat and unique offerings. So, and I really hope that's the case. Because like I said, Tim is a legitimate car guy. He's not just a numbers guy. He does care about the enthusiasts, and so I think maybe he's got some stuff in the works. I do firmly believe this. But he still has to work within the confines of what is out there in terms of the EPA requirements. They've committed. They don't want to keep buying credits from Tesla, and why that makes sense to me, right? Why spend billions of dollars and pay it to your direct competitor? That's the truth. That's the real world we live in, and so it's like, well, what can we give them that's fun where we don't have to buy all these EPA credits and basically put ourselves out of business by selling to a direct competitor? We're subsidizing Tesla. How weird is that, right? It's like if you were a boxer, would you would you send steroids to your opponent? I don't know. Like, maybe that's a weird analogy, right? Maybe you're trying to get them DQ'd or something, but it's just it doesn't really make business sense if you just look at the nuts and bolts of it. I heard comments like, "Oh, who cares? They make so many cars. What's a couple $billion, dude? Billion with a B. Like, I don't care who does the accounting. That's not a hard decision to make. So it's just one of those things that you have to look at the big picture. So yeah, I think that Stellantis overall, I think that they have some say in, hey, look, the Hemi, it's got to go away. We're going to kind of we're going to dig you out of this hole, but you're going to have to kind of stand on your own 2 feet and and you're going to have to do it within the rules of what the administration and what the EPA is saying. I mean, that's the reality, guys. This is the government making this push, whether you like it or not. That's the truth. Now, I'm not a political channel. I will not jump into that. It's a losing battle for me to get into all that stuff like that. So I just don't mess with that. Like I said, I don't share a lot of my personal stuff. I don't jump into political issues because that's just a mess. I'm not doing that. I'm a car guy. So that's what we're going to talk about here. But that's the reality of it. So I think Stellantis both hurts and helps to a degree. I think Dodge is leveraging a lot of the platforms that Stellantis has already come up with in terms of chassis, in terms of engines. I think they're trying to leverage some of that. So initially, I thought Stellantis was just killing Dodge, but the more I think about it, the more I listen, the more I think that maybe Stellantis is actually helping more than they're hurting. So wonderful question and really good stuff. So yeah, I really appreciate that. So guys, we have we have 311 thumbs up. We actually did really good. Can we get to 350? Could you guys help me get to 350 thumbs up tonight? I would be stoked if we could do that, and I would really appreciate it. Also, one little bitty thing that I've been thinking about doing, and I know every once in a while, sometimes I'll do trivia for you guys. Look at my man, Black Ghost, jumping in here, Mr. Gregory Qualls himself, owner of the obviously the original Black Ghost that just sold at SEMA. I did see him at Roadkill Nights. We talked for a little bit. Great to see him in the house tonight, and boy, he showed me, I can't reveal anything he's got going on, but he showed me some of the things he has in the works behind the scenes. And good night. I am excited for him about some of the things he's got coming up and some of the things that he's doing. He also took delivery of his Black Ghost car. Of course, the original owner of the Black Ghost should be getting a Black Ghost from Dodge. And thank you for the support on the channel as always, my friend. So good to see you out at Roadkill Nights a few days ago. And hopefully I will be seeing you again here very soon. But yes, thank you for all the support. And man, I can't wait to see what you have to show the world when you get it all done. I think you guys will be pretty impressed with what he's doing. So anyway, guys, that's all I'm going to say about it. But a huge shout out to my man, Black Ghost. And it's good to see him on the live tonight. So, real quick, guys, I was also thinking about something else because I've done giveaways in the past, or I've done kind of things where I like auction something off during one of my lives. And I'm like, look, whoever gives me the biggest super chat, I'm going to send you something. You know, a little while back, I did away with my map and I did my RacerX thing like this. And what I thought I might do is have a smaller version of this printed out that I would sign and send to somebody. So be on the lookout, guys. I think I might do that. Order another one of these identical to the one that I use, and I'll sign it. And if you guys like, you're a big supporter of the channel, you think that'd be cool to have. Maybe on my next live, I'll have that available. And you know, I would love to send that out to somebody if you guys think that's something that would be cool. So just I don't know, something I've been thinking about just a little bit. So anyway, my man Roy chiming in as well. Love whatever you drive as long as you drive it like you stole it. Thank you again, Roy. I really appreciate it. You guys, that means a lot. You guys know I'm going to drive it like I stole it for sure, right? Obviously, we have some break-in miles to think about, and once those break-in miles are done, I would love to see what this car will dyno. Um, there's a handful of cars out there on the Black Ghost that are out there, right? I know Bill Goldberg's already got his car. How much for the map, says Aaron? The map is actually sitting over here, Aaron. It's still on my wall. I don't think I'm getting rid of that. That's hilarious. But at any rate, I know Bill Goldberg's already got his car. Jay Leno just picked up his car, as I mentioned. But from what I heard from the executive team, even the VPs cars are not ready. So I know there's all this stuff in the media. Oh, what you know, there all these cars are dude. They've made less than 200 cars already. That's it. Now, when it comes to producing the engines, I did ask them. Look, are they going to run out of engines? Because the general consensus is they may not get all 3,300 of these cars built. I'm just going to be honest. Coming from the head man, they're very concerned about the workers in Canada and the strike that may happen up there, which would really throw a loop through things. Now, I am also told that they have some flex time built into the schedule on these, which is good. Obviously, that means those guys were planning ahead. And so hopefully they will still get all of these done. My goal is obviously to get an early car. And that's what I want. You know, I've been wanting to do that. So, you know, I want to be the first to do a lot of stuff with the car. But we'll just have to see what happens. My man Broklahoma Chicken Fry, he says, "Yep, the wrestler, absolutely." Goldberg, of course, a big proponent of Dodge. He's been kind of a spokesperson for them. He helped them with their whole cheap donut maker thing that they did a while back. And of course, I met him. We are both sponsored by MagnaFlow, and so you know we have that in common. And I thought it was really cool that he got his Demon 170. So who knows? Maybe we've got some upcoming content with Goldberg. He's a Texas guy as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So anyway, I do believe I will get an invite from MagnaFlow to go back to SEMA as well. And Dodge will have a smaller footprint from what I'm told at the SEMA show. I've already seen the schematic based on everything I've seen, unless something changes. Dodge will still be there, but the footprint will be really small. Ford will have a very, very small footprint there, but not like they used to. And I don't think Chevy's going to be there at all again. So I don't know. You know, we'll see. We'll see. But I did enjoy SEMA last year, and we'll just wait to see what happens with that. You guys have been very, very generous on all these super chats tonight. So thank you guys for that. And let me grab a couple more comments. And then there's a couple more things I want to touch on really quick. As I mentioned, when I talked to the factory guys, I thought it was so cool. Over 750 cars a day they produce. Think about that. And we still feel like there's a shortage on Hellcats and stuff. That's a lot of cars coming out of that factory every day. I mean, it has to be like a well-oiled machine. As I mentioned, 47 seconds on each station. And just on Monday, I believe they made over 300 of the Demon 170 engines. They produced those. So I don't think there's going to be a constraint on the number of engines that they produce based on everything that I've heard. It's just a matter of the people putting the car together. So I don't think there's any sort of constraint from a materials perspective. It's just a matter of them getting the cars cranked out. And so, we'll just wait and see what happens. We did get to 350 thumbs up. So thank you guys for that. That is fantastic. And also 21 Scat Pack saying this may be a controversial comment, but in my opinion, without the Hemi, Dodge may become a fleet rental car company. Well, you're not the only one to kind of share that sentiment. A lot of people think that the Hornet is destined to just be fleet rental car, and maybe they're right. As far as I'm concerned, I hope Dodge sells a zillion Hornets. because that means, and the folks at Dodge, they basically second in my comment. They were like, yeah, um, if we sell 1 million Hornets, that gives them the leeway. Keep in mind, the Hornet's pretty fuel efficient, so that stacks credits up, which means that Dodge can then give us stuff that's more fun for folks like us, the stuff we really want, and that's exciting to me. So I hope Dodge sells 1 million Hornets to Hertz or rent, Hertz, whoever, Avis, budget. I don't care. Sell 1 million of them. Keep making good stuff for a relatively low amount of money compared to the rest of the market that's out there. And that's fantastic. And you really do get a fair amount of stuff, like a pretty nice car. I drove a base GT Hornet, and I was impressed with how quick it was and how much stuff it came with for $32,000. Now, I know 32 is not necessarily something to sneeze at, but you keep in mind, guys, the average car price in the US right now, across the board, is $51,000. That's how expensive cars have gotten. So when you really look at if a Hornet is a good deal for everything you get, it absolutely is. So I don't know, something to think about. Aaron says, did you see anything the mid-engine Mustang? I saw Stang Mode put out a video about it. But yeah, so I haven't watched it yet. So maybe I'll watch it when we get off this the live. I'm intrigued. I don't know, what if that's just a prototype, if they're giving it some thought. The Mustang always been a front engine car. But then again, so was the Corvette up until the point it wasn't. So who knows? There may be some merit to that. Our buddy Stang Mode, he's always got the inside scoop on the Mustang stuff. So let me see here. A couple other ones, and I need to get some more comments. I had a couple other things to talk about as well. John saying, looking forward to seeing the 170. Absolutely, buddy. Thank you very much, John. Appreciate the support. Thank you for that super chat. And what else here? My man Roy as well. He says, did I hear in 2025 the Camaro is going to make only 1,000 with 1,000 horsepower? I have not heard anything about that, Roy. I'll have to look into that. If you guys have an article or something for me to look at, send it to me on Instagram, RacerX Official, and I'll take a look at it. I would love to see it. I'm actually gone over tonight. I had so much stuff to talk about. I didn't even feel like I got to that many comments, but I want to stay on for just a little while longer. Give me 1 second. So much better, guys. Like talking this whole time wears me out a little bit, but yeah, so I did find out a lot of really interesting things when I was up there at Dodge. I would love to hear if they're going to do that with the Camaro. We do know the Camaro is going the way of the wind for the 2024 model here, and they're making very few 2024 models. 21 Scat Pack, let's see, the Neon PT Cruiser, Dart 200, etc., all seem to fail because consumer didn't want them. Rental companies did. Let's see, Dodge's Hemi, thoughts. So, obviously that is the Hemi has always kind of been Dodge's bread and butter. It's the identity of the brand, but they have to pivot. A perfect example is this. I talked to MagnaFlow. Like I said, they've been a sponsor of mine for years. Rich is a really good guy, one of the senior leaders at MagnaFlow, and they asked me if I would come out to California to tour their factory. That's in the works right now, so just be on the lookout for that. And but a perfect example is, well, look what direction the car companies are going right now, right? Everything's going hybrid, everything's going EV. So for a company like MagnaFlow, what does that mean, right? I mean, they want a big V8 to sound good. Heck, they may even do a V6 or whatever. But I mean, the bulk of their business comes from. Now they do other things. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of their exhaust products, a bulk of their business comes from these fire-breathing V8s that we all know and love. The Camaros, the Mustang guys, the Challenger guys, all that stuff. I mean, they put their X-Mod exhaust out basically through my channel, and I had prototype number 1. How cool is that? So, so what do they do now, right? If everything's going EV and hybrid, what direction do they go? Well, they went and they purchased a company. You'll see a lot of that at SEMA. They'll talk about it, but they went and purchased another company that does like springs and all sorts of stuff like that. They have to supplement and they have to evolve based on the rules changing. And it's no different for Dodge, right? They either change or they go out of business. A lot of people say, oh, if they go away from the Hemi, guys, if they don't go away from the Hemi, they automatically go out of business. It's game over. That's the truth of it. So you either evolve or you go extinct. and Dodge is choosing to try and play within the rules. And I have a feeling they're still going to give us some stuff that is really, really cool. I don't think all their stuff is going to be just fleet fodder, so to speak. Really good question. Um, I like the thought process there. And as I mentioned, I hope some of their vehicles are, fleet fodder, so to speak. Sell 200,000 of those things to Hertz, Enterprise, Avis, all those guys. That's fine. Let Dodge stack up the credits. Wait to see what they give us, because they will. And as I mentioned, the executives have told me numerous times they have stuff in the works. Just you got to have a little trust. You got to have some patience. So that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully, you guys can just stick with them long enough to reap the benefits, reap the rewards of what they have to show us. So that's all I can tell you right now, guys. Really great questions tonight. Let me see here. My man Aaron's jumping in there with all these super chats, buddy. Thank you very much. I love the Fox, by the way. Let me grab a couple. Okay, so real quick, I keep wanting to grab comments and then I get sidetracked. And wow, 365 thumbs up, guys. We still have 274 people on, and we are 80 minutes in. I don't want to stay on too much longer. I have some other quick things I want to talk about. Let's see. What is he saying? I'm reading your comments here, guys. Let me jump into this really quick. So a couple of the new videos that I want to do for you guys, the Hornet RT review. If you guys saw one of my recent videos, I did drive the Hornet a little bit at the show. I'm one of the first people to actually drive that car. But I'm going to get a full review done for you guys. My local dealership now has a Hornet RT. I also want to get the Super B, and they have a Super B, but it's not the wide body with the bigger tires on it. And that is the vehicle that I want to review for you guys. So I'm waiting for the purple one to come in, not the blue one. And as you know, in the special editions, the blue one, the B5 Blue, it only comes in the standard body with the bigger 20-inch tires on it. I want the wide body with the 18s because that car is really the one to me that is special. So not that the other ones aren't, but that's the one to review. Just you got to trust me on that. So keep in mind, I want to do that one. The direct connection updates, as I mentioned, I will try and get that video out for you guys tomorrow. A lot to share from direct connection. And then, of course, I mentioned the factory tour. So that's what I have coming up a little bit, just a little glimpse into the future. Now, I have put out a bunch of videos since I talked to you guys last time. So I'm just going to run through them really quick. July 26th was my last live. So like I said, it's been about 3 weeks. Dodge's Secret Edition, it's a Mopar edition. So they had this separate 8th special edition that they didn't tell us about initially. They're only doing 200 cars. It's called the Mopar edition, literally. So I put out a video on that. So if you guys don't know what that edition is, go look at my channel. A few videos back, you'll see Dodge's Secret Mopar special edition. The 2023 Challenger Shakedown, I showed you guys that. I didn't show you the wide body manual, which is kind of the one that I wanted to review. My dealership has one now, but since I've already done the Shakedown package, I probably won't do a review on that. But the Challenger Shakedown review is out there. The Durango being replaced by the Stealth, I talked to you guys about that a little while ago. Obviously, now I understand that the Durango probably will be sticking around for a little while, unless it gets killed by the senior leadership team based on sales. So we'll see how it does alongside the Stealth, the larger Stealth, and then we'll know. How much will my Demon 170 cost? All the specs on my Demon 170, how much it costs, all that stuff. I put a video out about that. Got a fair amount of traction. If you guys want to know, go check that video out. Is the 2024 Hornet worth the money? So now I'm talking about the RT version. So I did a video about that. Like I said, a lot more stuff's coming down about the RT right now. The Hurricane powered Charger, that I put a video out about. Will the Charger actually get a Hurricane in it, or will it stay an EV? A little bit of a controversial subject when you talk to a lot of people. We'll see, but I did put my thoughts about that. And then, of course, behind the scenes at Roadkill Nights, I did a behind the scenes video. That video was a lot of fun. Showed you guys the thrill rides. Some of the drifting that those guys do is out of this world. Like Mike, the guy that I worked with, been doing it for years and years and years. He literally told me he was going to put that car 6 inches off my knee, and he was just going to rotate the entire 4,400-pound car around me, and he did. It was just insane. You have to have so much trust in those guys to do what they did. Like the footage that I captured was insane. So go check that out if you haven't seen it already. And then also a massive upset at Roadkill Nights. When you talk about the 6 build teams that Dodge put out there, they gave everybody a Hellcat Red Eye engine. They said, go put this in something. They gave them a little bit of money to kind of come up with a build. And then they built the car. They had a kind of a sort of a pro or more of an experienced driver. Obviously, our buddy Demonology, he was up there. And then they had like a rookie, and the rookies were actually the ones that did all the driving during the drag racing. And if you didn't see it, Team Corrupt Builds was the winner. Um, Really insane how all that happened. I kind of feel like it was a bit of an upset. Kayla Rundle did a great job of driving that car, and she won the event. And hats off to her. It was very neat to watch. A ton of fun to participate in. I was out there high fiving with all of the guys at all of the builds, and I know how hard they worked on all of those cars. And the fact that there had to be just one person to win the event is kind of a bummer because they all kind of deserve to win. But what a fantastic group of people to be out there working with at that Roadkill Nights event and just talking to. And I was rooting for all of them at the same time. It was weird how it worked, but I was trying to support Throttle and I was trying to support the team Sick Bastards, which is a really weird name, but that was the name. And then of course, Kayla and Tony and Lacey and all those people that were up there competing. I did my best to support all of them, to help out, give little tweaks, little advice where I could, and we had just a really good time. The senior leadership at Dodge was very pleased with the turnout there. Over 42,000 people showed up for Roadkill Nights. It's a lot of people, and so many of you guys came up to me to say hi, and I really do appreciate that. And you guys know I love, that's one of my favorite parts about doing this YouTube gig is the people come up and say, "Oh, I watch your channel," and we talk. And so many people, they're like, "Dude, they're like a normal guy. It's like you're pretty easy to talk to," and it's like, well, imagine that, right? Um, we're all just car folks at the end of the day, and I really do enjoy that piece of it. So let me go through, and so I gave you guys all my recent content. I talked about everything I wanted to talk about tonight, all of my takeaways from Dodge, and it was a lot. And let me go back through and grab a couple more comments, guys, because I know I always jump on the super chats right away and I don't get to all these, but I want to see who else I haven't heard from. Let me just start randomly picking some comments here, guys. Philly Blue 04, lease up in February, trying to wait till then for a scat pack, hoping interest rates drop. You and me both, because I'm getting ready to drop a big old chunk on a demon. So I can completely 100% relate to that. And I certainly hope that we see a dip. Most people think we will. Typically, that happens right after I buy a car. So wait for me to buy the demon and then watch the rates drop. Let's see here. Timothy says the Chrysler Pacifica can be had with 276 horsepower all-wheel drive, which is more than a WRX. Isn't that a wacky thing, right? That you can buy a Pacifica that's fast. Well, it may not necessarily be faster, but certainly 276 horsepower. What's wrong with that? So, Aaron, thank you again. I appreciate it, buddy. You guys have been very generous tonight. Thank you guys very much for all the super chats. I really appreciate it. I do also want to mention, and I know I mentioned it earlier, if you guys are interested in supporting the channel more, I do have channel memberships out there where I give a few little perks here and there to my channel members. It's not expensive, guys. I didn't put an expensive option on there. It's either $5 or $10 a month. But every little bit helps, and you guys can join whenever you want. And there's no obligation. Like if you don't want to continue past that first month or whatever, you sign up for 1 month and then you don't have to do it again if you don't want. So anyway, I just wanted to give some more options for you guys to support the channel. So I appreciate you guys. Let me jump in. What's Peter say? If I wanted an Alfa Romeo, I'd buy one. Don't want a rebadged as a Dodge. Well, I understand that a lot of people do say that. And when you look at the two cars side by side, they are basically the same thing. Let's see here. Let me jump up a little bit more. What does Timothy say? No one cares about Dodge without the Charger Challenger. Chrysler Jeep Ram would be fine. Well, I think you say Chrysler would be fine, but if the 300's going away, that leaves them with the Pacifica. You think Chrysler stays around with just the minivan? Or does Chrysler give us something else, something new? I'll be curious to see the future of Chrysler. I really am. And you know what? Now that you mentioned that, I didn't even ask about Chrysler while I was up there. Maybe I should have. So hopefully you guys found some value in the information that I shared with you tonight. I don't think anything I shared was meant to be anything that was secret or private. Like I said, these were all just kind of general conversations that were had that cleared some things up for me a little bit. and it was definitely it was good to hear from those guys. Let's see, Kyle. Thank you very much. Everyone wants to turbo or supercharge their scat pack. What, in your opinion, on nitrous for the 6.4 builds? Um, Nitrous to me can be a very dangerous thing. Your tune has to be really on point with nitrous. Supercharging, as you guys know, with a 6.4 or a 5.7 can be tough. I always say keep your boost under 6.5 pounds. Do not up your boost past that. Something, oh, my buddy has a run 10 pounds for, you're on borrowed time. So just keep that in mind. The Hemis with their current design, um, they don't really cater to boost all that well. That doesn't mean you can't do it, and you can make some, some power, but you have to. People get greedy and they want to make more and more boost. Now with nitrous, nitrous can be a viable option. I wouldn't go with a massive shot on nitrous. Don't do a 200 shot of nitrous. Your your engine's going to just grenade. It's not going to be a thing. If you do maybe a 75 shot of nitrous, as long as it's tuned right for it, make sure, as long as you're not having detonation issues, all that kind of stuff, it can be a viable way to make power. You have to be very careful with nitrous. So that's my thought on it. So good question. I appreciate that. See anything in the mid-engine muscle? Oh, that's Aaron's. I'm sorry. I saw it. Let me jump down and see. I feel like, oh, Aaron's jumping in there. Let's see here. Destroyer 1320's on here. Good to see him. Let's see here. I did run into Mopar Insiders while I was up there as well. And he was a cool guy to talk to. And we talked a little bit about our content, because sometimes I'll look at what they put out, and oftentimes vice versa. They'll look at what I put out, and we kind of share information. So it was neat. I've never met him before, but it was neat to kind of see him up there. Very cool thing. And like I said, it was just neat to bump into so many people that I haven't met, and then a lot of people that I've met before, but I got to see again. So it was definitely worth it to go to Roadkill Nights this year, guys. I really did. I really did, enjoy myself. Like I said, I was tired, completely worn out, which I fully expected, being out in the sun and the heat, all that kind of stuff. But just from a networking perspective, it was neat. And certainly, I got some content up there. I got some really cool information, and I feel like I met a lot of new, friends. It was cool. And Destroyer 1320 says, "Hit that like, absolutely." Let's see. What else do we have here, guys? Let me grab just a couple more comments, and I've got to jump off of here. My man Chillax, hello RacerX. Glad I could catch you in time. Yeah, we're getting close to the end, but thank you for jumping on. Let's see here. Aaron laughing. I'm going to jump up a little higher because I feel like I've missed a whole bunch. Let's see here. What is this? NXTLVL Creation. So I'm talking to Sovereign Knight, especially with Tim taking Ram over. Fun times coming. We're going to find out. We really will. Let me see. Who else have I not heard from? Drew's Car Care saying, "What's up? Good to see you." Let's see here. Tom saying, "Any updates on the TRX?" No, I don't know anything on the TRX at all. Certainly, the TRX is not going to exist in the future with the Hemi in it. So, does that mean maybe we might see a TRX with a upgraded Hurricane engine? Maybe. I mean, obviously, we know the Raptor went that route, right? Um, so we very well could see a Hurricane equipped, very high output TRX in the future. I mean, like I said, they were very focused on the all wheel drive portion of things. So, and many of you guys have stated that it would be really neat if they had an all wheel drive option. And I can assure you that that is something that's being thought about. I can't say whether or not it's going to go in production. Only the folks at Dodge know that. But are they thinking about all-wheel drive and Hurricane engines? It is very much at the forefront of what's being discussed there. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. Kyle says, let's see here. You could buy a Vespa, and I'd still watch your content. I love that. I must have missed Kyle's initial super chat. So Kyle, I apologize for initially missing that. And if I bought a Vespa, I would stick a Hellcat in it because that's what I do. Let's just see here. What else did we get here? I'm trying to go and make sure I didn't miss anybody's super chat before I jump off of here. Oh, let me go all the way to the bottom. Who did I miss, guys? Let's see here. Okay, so 21 Scat Pack says Dodge has a brand issue. Mostly probably didn't look at Dodge before the Hemi. How many of us will stick around after the Hemi? That's the question. I perfectly stated. if you are a huge proponent of the Hemi engine and that's really all you like, then maybe Dodge won't have anything for you in the future. I just like anything fast. The executives at Dodge know that. Any of you guys that follow my channel, you realize like I just appreciate stuff that's fast. I hate to appreciate the Plaid because it's a frustrating car, but it is freaking fast, and you have to respect it. But anything out there that's fast has its unique things, right? I mean, a GTR, it's a mundane car to drive a little bit, but good night, they're fast, and you have to appreciate some of the technology that went into making that car. Um, heck, the M4 is fast in its own right. BMW guys love that car. They're nice. Are they worth the money? It's debatable, right? But I am just an overall enthusiast. The baddest car in the market is the Demon 170. I fully believe that. So, that's the car I've got to get. And I love Dodge stuff, guys. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love drag racing my Hellcat. I love drag racing the Scat Pack, and I'm going to love drag racing this car. And there's just something about driving these cars that just they're special and they're neat. Doesn't mean I won't continue to look. You guys know I love Corvettes. I love those cars. I don't think they would do much for my channel, maybe a little, but I don't. I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze on going to spend $120,000 on an E-Ray. And at this juncture, I'm not paying all that crazy money for the Z06. And plus, that car is already out there, and a lot of content's been put out on it already. So always had to do kind of what's best for my channel from a business perspective, but from a racing perspective, guys, this is a perfect match for me, the Demon. And you guys have been wanting me to go back to Mopar, so I hope this is something you guys can get behind me on. So anyway, let me grab a couple more comments, and I do have to jump here, guys. That I see another? Look at Aaron. Aaron's been jumping in with all his little super chats all night. Thank you very much. We're going to get to 400 likes, I think, guys. That's massive for me. That's really, really good. Let's see. If any of you guys have not hit thumbs up for me, see if you can grab that for me just real quick. Let's get to 400. Let's see. Hey, there's our man Skids. He says, let's see. If they even showed us something cool post Hemi, would have great. A mid-size, aggressive-looking car with an H6 would have been great. I agree. I like different kind of stuff sometimes. I really do. I like trying out new power plants, and sometimes just new stuff is cool to check out. And then I reserve even the Banshee, guys. I told you, I'm not dismissing the Banshee at all. I really want to drive that car. I guarantee you it's going to be fast. But what will the driving experience be like driving around a Banshee? It might be a heck of a lot more fun than driving around in a Plaid. I don't know. I want to drive it, but I'm willing to give it a chance, and that's the biggest thing. And so, that's why I think everybody should be, right. I mean, let's reserve judgment until we can really put it through its paces and see it for what it is. And that's where I stand on it. So what else here? Be watching your, let's see, we'll be watching next. Looking forward to your content. Thank you, Skids. I appreciate that, buddy, very, very much. So we got the 407 likes, guys, a bunch of super chats. It's been a fantastic night. We stayed on way longer than we normally do. And a lot of you guys stuck with me through the whole live. So thank you guys very much. I will give you guys the quick 30-second shakedown before I jump off. We talked a lot about the Demon, and it was benchmarked after the Plaid. Like I said, a lot of conversations with the folks up at Dodge this week. The Pentastar is sticking around. The Durango is sticking around. Both of those surprised me a little bit. The focus on the Hurricane, 3 different trims. It's not just 2. So keep in mind, they're thinking about a ramped up Hurricane. I'm excited about that. All-wheel drive. They're focusing on all-wheel drive, and no dismissing the fact that they have a lot of faith in where electric is headed. In terms of performance, from a performance perspective, the executives at Dodge, they see the writing on the wall. And one of the things that Tim told me was, we missed the ball way back in the day. We missed the ball on some stuff, and we're not going to make that mistake again. And that's not a quote verbatim. That's essentially what he told me, and that's not the first time he's told me that. So that means a lot. They really want to be out in front of this new frontier, this new technology. I know it's hard for a lot of us to swallow, but they just don't want to be late to the party. Where in the past they felt like that's hurt the brand a lot. So that's their mindset right now, guys. But they still need that gateway in my mind, right? They still need that internal combustion offering that's still a lot of fun. And I'm kind of hoping that that's going to be all these lines of Hurricanes, and they're going to give us some stuff to really get excited about. about. So that's really where we stand on things. Go check out that EV6 video versus the Black Ghost. I mean, if you guys haven't seen that, go look at it. That's one of the things that the executive team told me. They were just, and that's kind of the basis for the comment that I just made about just the performance of electric is just stupid. So keep that in mind out there. And certainly, as I mentioned, the executive team, they have a plan. It just takes a while. So, if you can, try and give them the benefit of the doubt and be patient. And I have a feeling that they will give us something that we can all get behind. So that's where we are. Jimmy says, Jimmy 1525, going to really enjoy this demon journey. Let's get it. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. Of course, there's our man Roy right there with the star. Welcome to X family member. So Roy just joined as a member of the channel. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate that, buddy. I like how it shows me on here during the live. That is a neat thing. And my man Aaron, of course, wants to jump in one last time. What did you say, Aaron? More about the Banshee. The better gotta, let's see. More about the Banshee, the better got to know what I'm dumping my granddaughter's college fund into. Aaron, of course, he is excited about the Banshee. This is not the first time he's told me that, and so there we go. Aaron's excited about it at least. But anyway, guys, listen. I apologize if I didn't get to your comment. I know there's so many comments that I don't get to. But man, you guys have been unbelievably just generous and supportive, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I'm worn out, so I think I'm going to go sit right over here on the couch for the rest of the night and just kind of wind down. Keep in mind, 21 Scat Pack just joined as a member as well. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. That is awesome to see. Yeah, as I watch, I want to leave you with one quick comment. I still have 222 people on, 413 likes tonight, guys. It's been an awesome one. Once again, thank you guys for what you do. Moderators, you guys are the best. Thank you again for what you do. Aaron just jumping in with another super chat. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it, buddy. I see so many crazy things in the news right now, and I want to share a little story with you that's a little bit weird to me. My daughter, she just went home. She spends all summer with me. And before she flew back, she had her first day of school today. And before she flew back, she did mention to me that she was scared to go back to school. And I get that, right? That's a normal emotion from a kid, right? I think we were all a little bit apprehensive before our first day back to school. She's in 7th grade, and I get that, right? And that's normal. And I said, well, babe, why are you scared to go to school? And she said, well, it wasn't what I expected. She said, well, the truth is I don't want to get shot. This got real weird, right? And I thought to myself, why in the world would my 12-year-old daughter be telling me she doesn't want to go to school because she doesn't want to get shot? But that is the current state of things right now, guys. Things are kind of scary. They're really scary. I see all these things on the news about how hard it is to keep our children safe and how incredibly just insane the world has gone. Like I said, we talked about stealing cars earlier. People are marching in the schools and killing children, and all this crazy stuff is happening right now. And I don't mean to be all doom and gloom, but it did make me pause for a second because when I was in school, it was like, hey, look, you didn't want to get bullied, right? Or you didn't want to get punched in the face or whatever. Just that was normal. When you get a bunch of kids together, stuff happens. But never in my wildest dreams would I think my daughter would tell me and be serious and say she doesn't want to go to school or she's scared because she doesn't want to get shot. That is a shame. And so I think my biggest thing is you have to take each day. I mean, I may have mentioned to you guys, I don't talk about stuff a lot, but I mean, Mama X is sick. I will post something on that on my community page coming up very soon because I might need you guys just to show me whatever support. I'm not asking for money or anything like that, guys. But I'm going to try and get a support page launched. I've been sort of working on it, but I haven't done it yet. But it drives home the fact that no day is given, right? Every day is a gift. And if you look at it like that, the days seem to just be a little bit more sweet. They're a little bit better. And just remember that when somebody cuts you off in traffic or when something bad happens, that there are so many other blessings that happen during the course of a day. And it's so easy to look at things with the glass half empty. And maybe it's time to start looking at the glass as half full and just appreciate each day for what it is. Realize that it's not our plan. We don't dictate things and that we are just, all we can do is our individual part. But, say a prayer for each other at night. So many of you guys reached out to me and told me, look, you're going to pray for myself and my mom. And that meant the world to me. Thank you guys so much for that. Gosh, that meant so much. And, remember each day, guys, each day's a gift. And so let's look at it that way. No days given. Hold your family members tight. Enjoy your time together. Be nice to everybody you can. Try and make somebody's day better, and we'll all be the better for it. Pay it forward. So anyway, guys, I will leave you on that note. Thank you so much for all of your support. I love you guys. You guys are fantastic, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, RacerX.